Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hello, everyone. I'm Railcoon, and welcome to another edition of the Community Spotlight. For tonight's show, you had the choice between Katana Zero and We Love Katamari. We had quite a lot of votes and a couple of lead changes this time, but Katana Zero wound up taking the win, and we've got two runs for you today, actually. First off, we're going to have Alex Trick and the Killer 613 racing normal difficulty Psycho, and then we're going to follow that up with Saturday running the new hard mode for us. Before we get too much into the game and talking about the runs, though, just would like to remind you very quickly that the sprint is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in for that. And of course, SGDQ starts this weekend on the 22nd and will be running all the way through the 30th, so make sure you tune in for that. Right here, you can also visit our website, gamesdonequick.com. And if you would have any games you would like to see on the Community Spotlight, you can let us know by going to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix/spotlight-form. So now that we've gotten through all of that, why don't you guys introduce yourselves real quick so people can hear your names. We'll just start from the top. Mad Insane, why don't you go first?
I'm Mad Insane, and we're ready for some Katana Zero runs here.
I'm Yes. I'm also very excited to watch these great Katana Zero runs.
Hi, I'm Alex Trick. I'm excited to be running Katana Zero for you today.
Alright,
the Killer 613 and hope that I don't choke. Smiley face.
Alright, so Katana Zero had a pretty big patch recently that introduced speedrun mode and hard mode. What kind of things should be looking out for in the race coming up? Like, what are the big things that are going to be differentiating our two runners here?
I mean, in general, what's going to matter most is whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. That's sort of how every speedrun works, but both runners are very similar when it comes to strategies and how they approach the game. So it's going to matter most about who makes the least mistakes and who dies the least and who gets to do their strategies.
Alright, so this is going to be a Psycho run. What makes this different than a normal any percent run?
So a Psycho run, at the very end of the run, just after the last level, there is an extra secret boss at the end, which is which you do for the Psychotherapy achievement, which is an extremely hard boss comparative to the rest of the game. But of course, these runners are very well practiced in it, so you should be able to see something really impressive from them.
And what would you say that makes Katana Zero different from games that are similar to it? It's got a pretty, I've seen this art style in other games, but the gameplay looks a little bit different. Like, what are big things we should be looking out for if you've never seen the game before?
Firstly, it's incredibly fast. Even in a casual playthrough, it is a very, very fast game, especially when you're not using slow-mo. The kind of the gimmick of the game is this slow-mo mechanic, which it allows you to, at will, just slow down the game. But of course, this is a speedrun, slowing things down is slow, and so that just leads to just the nature of the game being incredibly fast to go through, and with everything dying in one hit, including yourself, it just means that a single mistake, you have to reset the entire level. So it's all about just getting the flow going and pulling off just a long string of very impressive looking strategies.
All right, do you guys have anything else you'd like to go over before we get started?
I think we're probably good to go.
Yeah, that was a great introduction.
Just going to confirm we're all ready to go. And then we'll get started. We're not doing a race on SRL, we're just going to count it down on Discord. So when we're getting ready to start, I will type it in Discord for them, say it out loud for the sake of the viewers, and then we'll get started. Oh, right. Killer gets booted every time he types. It's fine. He's done talking, so we'll just go. Countdown starting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, so the runners are beginning now with the deflect sequence. Just the first level is entirely movement. So you get to see the movement options they have available, which is just normal platforming movement and a roll, which is slightly faster than normal walking. They can also use their sword to give themselves a bit of momentum in any direction, and they can also in this room pet the cat for just a little Easter egg. It doesn't really help them in going fast, but they both agreed to do this.
Killer deciding to pet the cat several times. It's actually a very fast speed strat to just pet the cat until the run is dead. So in this room, in this room, which is factory stage number 4, the usual strategy is to attempt to kill them with the lasers, because you can turn the lasers off with the switch on the wall, but it looks like neither runner is going for that strategy. It's very risky and can fail many times, as both of these runners are very aware of. Alex is already out of factory and entering hotel right now. Hotel introduces the throwables, which you can shockingly throw at enemies to kill them in one hit.
Yeah, and also the important thing about the throwables is you can throw them instantly with absolutely no delay. And you can also do that while doing other actions. So it lets you do a long chain of killing enemies extremely fast.
Or like rolling, which is, as we know, very fast.
Exactly. I had a slight death from Alex there, but it's a very minor difference. I believe the runners are still fairly close, and very early on there's not really that much that you can do to make a huge difference, besides not dying.
Yeah, not dying is going to be the best strat until basically the end of the game.
On Alex's screen, you'll see a strat coming up in which he needs to roll and then enter the door before the guard actually finishes the seeing sequence, and you'll see it again on the killer's screen on the right, where just normally they would have to reset the level after that, but since you enter the door during the short delay of the guard seeing you, you can just get through. It saves you a little bit of time having to wait a cycle.
Fun fact is that actually counts as a death in game, which makes a deathless run with that strategy impossible. Or technically impossible.
Yep, and we see the runners are going through the segment, and what you'll notice is occasionally whenever they have to drop through platform, is you can also hold down to go significantly faster, which you'll see in a few spots. Them just almost instantly just going towards the ground.
Alex about to exit club, and he's going to throw the bottle at the guy at the top, because this game works. The way this game aims is it uses auto aim, so even if you aim at a certain spot with your cursor, it will sometimes go to the enemy no matter what. So Alex tried to time the throw at the top of the stairs, which is pretty hard to kill the guard as soon as possible, but didn't get it, sadly.
Though Killer did manage to hit the timed bottle throw, so that's gonna catch him up a little bit.
It saves about 1 second from the exit, which is not that significant, but it adds up over the course of like several runs.
Yep. In this section, it's supposed to be a stealth section, but of course stealth is slow, so we just kill everything instead, which is another option. In some of the rooms, you can just skip out on some enemies. If they never see you, then you can just proceed anyway, which they do in a couple of the rooms.
Alright, Alex now entering Studio, and Studio is a bit special because it has 3 branching paths, which you can select whichever one you do first. Both runners, I believe, are going to be doing Doom first, which is the most popular option. They all end up at the same endpoint, but most runners opt to do Doom first because it's a very easy stage, but it has potential to lose a lot of time if you mess up. Because it works, it's sort of an auto-scroller, the cart, you need to wait for the cart to move to the end of the screen. And therefore, if you die, you need to wait for the cart all over again. It sort of dictates the pace of the rooms.
Yeah, and what you will have seen on both the screens very briefly ago is you can use the cart momentum to just catapult you forward. Of course, since we have to wait for the cart anyway, it doesn't actually save any time, but it's just a little cool extra thing.
Yeah, if anyone wants to find a skip to skip over that gap, you'd save a lot of time in the run.
And so both of the runners are heading into space now, which is the second part of this. They need to. This level can be very careful. You need to be very careful throughout this level because there's a lot of Molotovs that you're having to use, which not only do they explode killing multiple enemies, but they will also explode killing yourself if you're too close to it. And so if you're going too fast, then you may end up just rolling into it as you throw it.
Which is used actually in one room coming up in the next level. It's actually used, you throw the Molotov at yourself and then you roll to become invincible. So you can still just throw it at the floor, but it's not recommended. If you want to live, that is. Quiet introduces the smoke bombs, or smoke grenades, and they are probably the best throwable in the entire game. They allow you to stand in them, and any enemy that is in them, or if you are in the smoke, you cannot be seen by enemies, which is really good. It is game-breakingly good in certain levels.
Okay, we're almost approaching the first boss fight in the game, which will be very rapidly done, as hopefully, if everything goes right. On Alex's screen, this is the boss fight going up against V. So what he will do to start off with is he'll do a quick reset, and then to move into the center of the screen, or just die, either way works, and then jam him in a corner, and then just repeatedly hit him. He almost got all 4 hits, and then that just ends the boss fight instantly. Very, very fast strat.
The timing on those slashes is actually really what's like finicky. It's very precise. If you mess up the timing just the tiniest bit, you usually just end up getting hit by V instead, which of course just catapults you away.
Yep, so this is the mansion level. This level is very much, there's a large number of gun enemies. And gun enemies, not only do they shoot you, but they can also just punch you into the ground, and then they can just shoot you afterwards. And in the next room on Killer's screen, you'll see a rather interesting strat where we can use the door to actually kill one of the enemies to save us having to kill it. Saves us a tiny bit of time, but it's faster, so why not?
Let's see, so coming up is actually the only, I guess it's sort of a glitch, but it's the only frame perfect trick in the run, which is called replay skip. It saves 3 entire seconds, and how you get replay skip is by, during that replay, the first frame, it's active, the skip replay button is actually active. So if you spam skip replay, you can sometimes skip that 3-second cutscene of Zero going and then slashing up the door and exploding.
Unfortunately, both of the runners missed it, but it is incredibly precise. Since they both missed it, they're effectively not losing any time to it.
So that is the kissy face fight you just saw on Alex's screen and you are currently seeing on Killer's screen. His moves are scripted, but sometimes it feels like they aren't, because based on how you hit him, or if he parries a move that you do, because if you attack him from the front, he will parry the attack, so sometimes it just won't do the same pattern every time, which can be annoying, but neither runner messing that fight up.
Yeah, an important thing to mention that was added in speedrun mode is the option for stable seed, which allows for seeded enemy positions, which is what both of the runners are using, which makes the whole run a lot more consistent instead of having to adapt to RNG throughout the entire run.
Yeah, stable seed really just helped people become interested in the speedrun again, and really helped us develop new and really fast and cool strategies. Stable seed, however, does not make the gun patterns from the people in the motorcycle chase you're seeing on killer screen right now. They still shoot at random intervals, so sometimes they will shoot really early and sometimes they won't shoot at all, which can save or lose some time. So on Alex's screen right now, you're seeing the helicopter fight. You're also seeing it on killer screen. It is a three-phase fight where you start off by deflecting the machine gun, then you have to survive the first missile barrage, deflect the V's, I guess that's a grenade launcher, deflect that onto the helicopter, and then you have to survive a second rocket barrage, and you have to deflect the machine gun a third time. Now, the second rocket barrage can be very tricky sometimes because it is not scripted, which means that sometimes, which I'm not really sure has ever happened, but sometimes you can just get a completely impossible pattern and lose probably 20 seconds just due to that, which can very often kill a run.
It looks like both of the runners have had a very clean helicopter fight, a very clean mansion overall. So going into Chinatown, you can see it on Alex's screen, making great use of the smoke bomb to stop all of the enemies from seeing him, so he can just one by one just take them all out. And also making great use of these drones, which will explode when they hit the ground. So you can just fire a drone into a set of exploding barrels and just wipe out most of the enemies in some of these rooms very, very quickly.
So in a couple of the levels at the end, there will be cops rolling up in either cop cars or SWAT vans, which is a cool mechanic that's never really explored more than Chinatown, but it's fun. Also in that room, in the very last Chinatown room, you see when he places the smoke and he starts slashing, he sometimes just warps to the end, like warps a couple, I don't know, like meters forward, just randomly. We have no idea why that happens, but it happens. And speaking of warping, we now play as a different character. This dragon, he is really fun to play as, in my opinion, and he has a special sword called the Wave Sword, which allows him to wave dash, which is the official name in the game. Now what this does is it lets him teleport forward, which is really good. It can make some of the levels a lot easier, as you will see here, and it just makes them really fast-paced and look really fun.
Through quite a few deaths on Alex's part, Killer has managed to almost entirely catch up now. They're in the same room and just a few seconds apart now as they go into the Slaughterhouse, which can be a very, very rough level if you're not careful on some of the rooms, just due to the enemy placements and also the additional extra obstacles in the path. What you will see in the previous room is they are setting up a camera skip, where they roll through one of the cameras, and this will skip the sections in which a character talks to you. But of course, we don't want to do that, and it also means that you would be locked in a room and have to do an extra level later on. But you'll see much more later on as they have to carefully roll through some more cameras.
Slaughterhouse is very much a cycle-based level where you try to not get the fastest time, but get the fastest cycle instead, because you see those crushers, they're on a cycle, which leads to sometimes the players resetting before they enter a room, just so they can get a better cycle from the crushers.
Yeah, and Killer's actually taken the lead now, with Alex being now 2 rooms behind. in the room that Alex is in, this room is rather slow to do casually, as you use the lever to switch the direction of the conveyor belt. But of course, we can just line them all of the enemies up and then just kill almost all of them at the door, and then just finish any of them off with a single slash at the end, instead of waiting for the crusher repeatedly.
And as you saw on Killer's screen, and you're going to see now on Alex's screen, they're rolling under the cameras that you see up top to skip the doors coming down, which will save them having to sit through the level and then the cutscenes that come after that level. Killer is already in Bunker, which is the second to last stage of the game, and where the game really starts picking up the pace.
Some of these bunker rooms are incredibly fast. They just stack up a very large number of enemies in front of you, and so you need to perform pretty much a set sequence of inputs extremely quickly. And you'll see in Alex's screen now, this is one of the prime examples of this, where it's just a bunch of enemies, and then the room is over in less than a second. So you clean it up very nicely.
Killer now in the most exciting room of Bunker, which is Bunker 8. It's just a straight line into the next elevator.
So it's a good point to talk about the importance of actually timing your rolls instead, because if you just spam the roll button over and over again, you'll end up often just missing the optimal rolls, since the time between each roll is really low. And so all of the runners just try and pace their rolls as well as possible to make sure they're not wasting any time. And you just see that over the little movement sections, especially like in early prison or in that other room, in Bunker. And that just ends up just making up a lot of time throughout the run.
Killer exiting, or both runners actually exiting Bunker now and entering Bunker 2. Which is a very creative name, if I like can put my opinion out there. Bunker 2 is definitely the section with the hardest stages in the game, but it's very short, being only about a minute in length.
Yeah, and you can see that Alex is having a little bit of trouble in the final level of Bunker before the boss sequence, whereas Killer has just made it into the boss sequence. And so all Killer has to do is make it through these two parts to the boss, in which the boss firstly just spawns a bunch of enemies, then do one hit, and then spawn more enemies, until the actual boss fight, which will go incredibly quickly if it all goes well, in which he just knows the exact positions in which the boss is going to spawn for each attack, and can just do a hit on them instantly, just knocks them off the roof, and then sets up to knock them off the roof again, and then instantly throw the knife at them, and that is the end of the run for Killer, as soon as he activates the retina scanner. And same on Alex's screen, now as he just sets up, knocks down the boss again, knocks down the boss on the roof, throws the knife, and then that's both of the runners almost done. It's just done with the normal
stages run. But we have a secret boss surprise. It's not really a surprise if it's advertised, but it's a secret boss, which is a really intense and exciting boss. And it's got some great music too. So yeah, this is a character you haven't seen yet, because he's in cutscenes instead of actual gameplay up until now.
There's several phases to this guy. First of all, he's still in his kind of human form, with just some hands. You need to hit repeatedly to move on to the next phase. This part is not nearly as difficult as the upcoming part of this fight, but it could still go wrong, so we'll have to see, because at this point even a single death will probably catch Alex up, so keep an eye out.
Killer entering phase 2 of the fight, where the therapist just shoots orbs at him. It's probably the most difficult phase of the fight, apart from the last one, because it's very precarious. You can very easily mess it up by deflecting one and then getting shot, for example. Alex passing it through that phase without doing anything wrong, and entering phase 3, which is a bit trippy. Looks... yeah, it's just eyes. It's scary.
Yeah, in this phase, the camera orients itself weirdly and has a lot of symmetry, and it can be quite hard, even though technically it doesn't actually change any of your movement. It can be really hard to tell what's going on. Now on Alex's screen you can see the actual final phase of the boss. With lots of things to avoid, and then eventually the real form of the boss will show up, and then you can hit them. And you need to do this, I think it's 3 times in order to end the fight. So there's a slight advantage to Alex right now.
But it still is. If any of the runners die right now, they would obviously put the other runner in the lead.
Yeah, Killer's taking a couple of unfortunate deaths in this early fight. It's going to give Alex a huge advantage. Looks like Alex has managed to do it.
Fight. That was very good from Alex. A great performance.
Is that time?
And that is time for Alex. See how it goes for Killer. Killer having some issues with the chickens, which are the flying things that shoot orbs at you. Because they don't really spawn in predetermined locations. So they can be random, and sometimes they can really screw you over with how they're placed and how the next obstacle is coming up.
Got one more hit left for Killer, I believe. Oh, takes an unfortunate death there, almost to the very end of the fight.
Yeah, this fight really is just incredibly difficult. It's even though Killer has practiced this a lot, it can still just sometimes not work out for you. Also, is Killer using a mod for the needle? Because that doesn't...
It's definitely a strange texture. Maybe a slightly broken texture there.
Is that a white boy? Killer getting the 3rd hit and is going to be finishing the run soon. And that is time for Killer 2. Nice.
Very respectable times from both of them. I believe Alex got the equivalent to a 3rd place time on the leaderboard for that psychotherapy run. Although they do have 2nd place. But still very impressive to do in a marathon style format.
Definitely.
Welcome back, Alex, Killer.
Hi. It was a good race.
Hello.
It was a very good race. You guys changed the leads actually a couple times there.
Oh, nice. I was concerned I was way behind the whole time.
I thought I was gonna win, but then the boss happened.
Oh, no. So...
I got a PD that race.
Nice. That's good. So I've actually gotten a lot of help on straps for this game from iCanalo's guide. Somewhere on YouTube. I don't have a link to or anything relevant right now, but if you're looking to get into speedrunning this, I would definitely give that a view.
Do you have any shoutouts, Killer?
Nah, not really.
All right. Thank you, both of you, for coming on and racing. It was a very close race. We are going to take a short break here, and then we'll be back with Saturday running hard mode for you guys. This is a pretty recent development that hard mode even came out. So look forward to that. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, that was great.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Railcoon, and we're here with the second part of our Katana Zero Community Spotlight. We just had a race between Alex Strick and the Killer 613. It was actually a very close race, and as we were just commentating in the break, it was interesting because the Killer actually won the all stages portion, but then Alex pulled it back in the final boss since they were doing psychotherapy. It was a very good race. If you missed it, you should definitely check out the VOD later when you get a chance. But we were switching over to the next run here, where we're going to have Saturday running hard mode for us. Hard mode is a very recent development, so why don't you tell us how hard mode differs from what we just saw?
Right. So in hard mode, basically a lot of the enemies are changed to be of a higher degree. Like if you have a Terry like the normal melee guys, they'll change it to a Ricky who can, deflect your attacks. There are also two new enemies that we'll see throughout the run. I'll introduce them as we go by. And there are also some stage changes. So like lasers and, as you'll see, new shotgun traps will show up. So yeah, that'll be pretty new.
So it sounds like your strategies moving through these rooms are going to be pretty considerably different compared to normal. Is that going to be like almost every stage is drastically different, or is it like mix and match depending on the stage?
I'd say it's about 50-50 actually with the same strats as normal mode. Some of the enemy placements are pretty similar to the ones in normal, just with added players, so it doesn't create too much of a difference for some rooms to do the same strat. But as you'll see, there are a lot of different strategies that I have to do in order to get through the rooms on hard.
Also, everyone in chat is asking the question, are you going to do psychotherapy at the end?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Before we move on, I just would like to remind everybody that since this is the month of June, all subscriptions are being donated to MSF. And if you want to learn more about that, you can, of course, tune in for Summer Games Done Quick, June 23rd through the 30th. And you can view that here or on gamesdonequick.com. But after just those couple questions, is there anything else you want to go over before we get started?
Maybe one thing. Sometimes you'll see the room like move around and maybe shift a bit. That's because usually I'm going to be pressing the reset button. That's just going to reset me to the beginning of the room so that I can either do a different strat or just recover quickly from dying instead of having to watch the animation. So yeah, if it looks like it cuts out for some reason, I'm just resetting.
Okay.
That's about it. I'm ready.
All right. Why don't you give us a countdown then?
Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, pretty similar, if not exactly the same to the normal mode right here, just movement. But right here, we'll see the first big changes. You'll see different enemies, already shotgun guys here, the first level. Still gunmen. You see like the Ricky at the top, he changed from a Terry. We're just gonna be moving through here. And this will be an example of the stage changes. Here are a couple new lasers that I'll not die to. So yeah. Shoot. You'll see a lot of times. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Okay. That'll either go below or above shields to hit them instead of just rolling past them, because the new enemies that'll be shown off later. It's also pretty unique that you can't turn off the lasers, so there's no laser strats. But aside from that, everything else is pretty much the same.
So how much more frequently are you going to be deflecting shots in hard mode compared to normal, for instance?
A lot, really. Usually I'll do this thing I like to call roll canceling, where you slash, you roll, and then you slash again. It's really quick, but you have to hit an enemy to do it, or a bullet. So I'll hit bullets with the slash and then roll and keep going. So I don't have to be perfectly accurate with my slashes. Instead, I can just hit the bullet, that'll kill them instead. Oh my god.
So yeah, real quick, someone in chat was asking why the fan wasn't moving at the beginning of factory, and that is because Saturday has disabled slow motion. So he's gonna be running without slow mode at all during this run, which is it gets really strange in some levels, where it's just nearly impossible to get through without slow mo.
Yeah, it can seem really difficult at some parts. Some rooms are actually pretty random without slow mode. I might have a bit of trouble with them, but sure it'll go fine. This is not supposed to happen, but it's fine. Okay, that's hotel done.
How tight of a window is it to deflect shots? Like, how accurate do you have to be with that?
I wouldn't say it's too accurate. It's pretty lenient, especially with the length of the katana. So it's not that difficult, actually. I usually just watch for the markers above the enemies' heads to see like when they're gonna shoot. When the markers turn red, they're preparing to shoot. I'm not gonna do Baba Booey because I'm scared, so I'm just gonna do that. Pretty funky room here. Rip Strong Terry. And move on. Yeah, so in here you'll see the introduction of smoke things and stuff. But oh, here's the new enemy. There he goes. You won't see a lot of smoke through the run because, you know, it's hard mode. Smoke makes it pretty easy. So a lot of the rooms will have to be changed strategies because of the absence of smoke. Uh-oh. We're okay.
So the new enemy you saw is special in the fact that if you try to roll through him, it just doesn't work and you get kicked and then knocked down. Which changes the strat for a lot of the rooms in the run, because you can't just roll through the enemies and slash backwards or just roll and slash forwards.
He could also just hit you normally, which makes it pretty difficult to predict what he's gonna do, so either try to bait him or just kill him first. This room is pretty similar to the normal, but more enemies are gonna be coming, as you're seeing at the top. Just gonna wait here with the bottles. A little dance. There. Okay, on to prison. The beginning of prison is exactly the same as normal mode, just running through, doing rolls, all the same. Gets pretty crazy when we get to the actual action of it.
Yeah, prison is, at least for me, the first hard mode stage where it really just went completely off the rails, and it's just very different from normal mode.
See that they've deliberately placed lasers all over the place, and also, which you normally have to roll under, but then also placing these kicky rickies which are designed to stop you from rolling. So you're having to sometimes just substitute rolling through the lasers with just deflecting bullets through them instead, or other similar things, because it's far too dangerous to just try and roll through everything.
Oh, that's unfortunate. This is one of those kind of RNG-ish rooms. I may be stuck here for a while. It's a little risky to do this kind of thing, but I got through pretty well. Also, you notice with the traps that the yellow ones, shotgun traps, the enemies can pass through them, while on the red ones they can't, which are, you know, lasers. So that creates a lot of situations where you have to bait enemies in, so you don't have to roll through the lasers to get them. I go to Chapel of Doom first, like everybody else. My
As you
card's the same,
should.
track is the same. Yeah, I know. Too quick deflects. Yeah, similar to the normal run, this is pretty not easy, yeah. It's very difficult.
So I noticed that you didn't go for cat strats. Are we gonna get cones during the street segment?
Hopefully. I'll try to get 100 of them, but cat strat stays put. The cat does not change in hard mode, by the way. It's a great piece of information to know. Right here, I'm gonna try to save a throwable, because as you'll see right here, we got an enemy. If you try to do this strat with the normal run and like jump and slash up, you don't have enough time to either deflect or get on the platform to roll. So what I'm gonna try to do is just jump up and throw it. It's the most consistent way I've found to do the room without dying, so safe, slow, but it works. Space uncertainty, like the last one, is pretty rough to die on, loses a lot of time, but I got some pretty good strats to make it go by much quicker. Yeah, you'll see the turret at the end there. It's pretty difficult to dodge those bullets without having to roll backwards. There's some pretty cool deflects. Saving this throwable for that guy. There he goes. Here, I'm just gonna bait with the Molotov. dodge there. Easy. Yeah, if you don't get this room on the first try, that cardboard cutout over there, he blocks your knife from hitting the shotgun. So it's really important to get that room on the first try, so you don't lose a lot of time trying to wait for him. Onto Quiet Hills, or Silent Hills, whatever. Large absence of smoke, except for that one, that's like the only one. These coming rooms are pretty similar to the normal. There's a laser, I guess. Just a lot of enemies here. Pretty difficult to take care of. So I'm just gonna play it safe and deflect, instead of trying to get in with those rickies. Goodbye. There it goes. Okay, so once again, we are reaching the first boss fight, V. His attacks are pretty much identical to the normal run, except that they're faster. That's it. So there isn't much variance on the strats that you have to use. It's just a lot tighter. I don't know what happened there, but I'll take it. Okay. I don't even know if the fast strat works on this one, so I'm just gonna try to do it normally. Good. Those shoulder charges are the easiest to dodge, so lucky I got 3 of them. On to Mansion. Normal's pretty standard, but you'll see later that the motorcycle chase is very much changed. Nice. This is a pretty new room to me. I haven't really routed that much. That shotgun trap makes everything very difficult with the rickies and oh my lord. Okay, we're going back with the kicky rickies and all. Oh man, this is unfortunate. There. No, just don't mess it up again. You'll also notice that the shotgun traps also alert enemies to your position, so they'll come running and I'll use that for baiting sometimes, which is pretty effective. Safe strat there, bait him down with the door. Oh, no. Gonna bait it down. Oh. Where are you going, buddy? There we go. Oh, in this room, saw last run with the race, that there's the replay skip you can do once this room ends. Let's see if I can get it. Exactly the same, save the same time. Unfortunately not. It's fine, we're on to the Kissy Face fight. Kissy Face is almost the same. He's got one new attack, which is a grenade that he tosses. You just roll right through it. And he's also much faster and takes a lot more hits. This time it takes 7 to take him down. Just gonna try to focus up and dodge. Corner is not a great place to be right now. Oh, that was close. Corner again was kind of unfortunate, but please don't die. Nice. Clean, no deaths. Okay, we're on to the motorcycle segment. So you're gonna see there's a lot more enemies, they fire a lot faster. Just makes everything a lot more hectic. Trying to dodge and deflect all these bullets in a 3D plane. Gonna try to get all the cones this time though. If you get the most optimal deflex, you can actually skip a bunch of this by just hitting the enemies very early without having to get up close to them. I missed one. Missed two. Okay, I got most of them. That's pretty good. Oh no, it's unfortunate. I'm gonna try to deflect all these. So close, come on. Oh, there we go. Just for swag. Oh my, it's unfortunate.
Ooh, that was a fast shot.
No. These guys do shoot a lot faster. V as well, as you'll see in the helicopter fight coming up. Trying to dodge the cars, at the same time trying to deflect and dodge the bullets. Difficult, we got through. Here's the helicopter fight. For one, everything is faster. Two, he has a slightly different attack, which is this first one. Normally just fires a volley, but now we gotta dodge the tracking ones as well. Just gonna move up and down. And this one, it's just a bunch faster. Hopefully I can get through it on the first try. Nice. And that's for this mansion. Okay, next, Chinatown. There's new enemy. There is the new enemy. I just call him Machine Gun Terry. He fires 9 bullets and then he reloads. The bullets are kind of random and a tight spread around you. So you'll see me doing in the future a lot of quick deflex to kill him. Like right here, we're gonna do a couple. Nice. Gonna use that body to bait them down and kill them with the drone. Drones just fire a bunch of bullets, you can kill with throwables or a knife, and they explode. So I'm gonna try to use those a lot. Here's a strange glitch I found. You can just leave. There's more enemies, but you just leave. I don't know. See, this room spawns a lot more enemies up there.
So I think what happens there when you can leave the room is that when they're in the transition of moving up or down the floors, they aren't counted as being spawned in, which just makes you able to leave them. I think that's what happens.
The more you know. Just gonna stall in the air. Come on. Here's the use of the drones that we found out. Stand on the car, throw them down. In this room, the normal runners like bait the enemies from the cop car that comes from the left. But since this is hard mode and I'm scared, I'm gonna kill myself with the Molotov instead. But what I'm actually gonna do is just wait, because I'm scared. Kill them when they come out. There's also a machine gun Terry at the end, right there on the right. So I'm not gonna take any chances. Okay, here is Dragon Tape. Just a lot more enemies here. Same mechanics, but is a lot tighter. Unfortunate. Just gonna wait, play it safe. Ugh, I didn't plan for the Ricky to come up. It's supposed to be just a quick few deflects. A lot of abusing the dash here. Seems these guys didn't come down. It's a little slow, but it's okay. This last guy, dash. Okay, on to Slaughterhouse. So in the last run, the race, you saw that a lot of the runners were, or not a lot, both the runners were rolling past some of these rooms with cameras in them. In this one, the hard mode, you can't actually avoid it, so you're gonna have to deal with these cameras and deal with the boss room. There. So I'll just be cutting the wires. And later, or now, you'll see that he snipes you. The boss will snipe you throughout every room with an explosive shot. Different from the normal one, because the normal one, it's a normal shot. It's a little slow, but I'm just gonna take my time. Use smoke. Just gonna get a quick deflect here. Nice. What's also unique about these shots is that they can bait enemies down, so I'm just gonna wait here for these two guys to come down. Play it safe, or not safe at all. That was not safe. Okay, please. Let me get through this. Some unfortunate timings here. Lots of unfortunate timings. Oh my. There we go, finally. Gonna reset it there, get a better seed. Saw there, use the explosives of the shot to blow up the barrels. It's a little unfortunate here. Just gonna wait this out on this platform. Do not want to risk getting killed. Just gonna wait for the second cycle. There we go. Reset again. Pretty roundabout way of doing that room, but we got it done. Okay, so here is the boss fight that was skipped in the normal race. It's this guy right here. Well, it isn't really fighting against him. We'll send out a bunch of enemies to the left and right doors. As you'll see, there'll also be a shotgun laser going through the roof. So we gotta dodge all that, get through the boss. Hopefully it goes well, but there's a couple of machine gun terries that I'm gonna have to deflect. Might be a little difficult. There. First try. Was that first try? I think that was first try. Second try. He's just spouting some nonsense. I just want to get through. Since we didn't skip the first part, you're also not going to be able to skip this. but the next 2 rooms you can't skip, so it'll be fine. Oh no. Okay, onto bunker. This is very fast paced, very difficult. You know, as hard mode entails. The deaths here are pretty quick, so if I die, it's not too much of a time loss. So, it goes well. Oof, just narrowly missing that shotgun trap. I think I'm gonna die here just to get a better point. There. Oh, here's one of these strats that is similar to the normal mode that you may have seen. I'm gonna use a body to bait, then we're just gonna take all of them out. The other one you can use a Molotov to send a body there, but instead we're just gonna slash that guy up. Mount a machine gun is no problem. Even with those shotgun traps, it's pretty easy. Oh no. So. Okay, up comes the hardest mode, hardest room of the game. This one. It's gonna be pressing shift, and we're through it. Lost a lot of time on many runs doing that.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
That looked really difficult.
Thank you. Just really worried about that one. I was practicing for hours. Okay, last room. Till bunker 2. What is happening? I think I'm gonna try to bait them down, hopefully. Yeah, there he comes. There, nice. On to bunker 2-1, this is very fast paced, very difficult as the rest of hard mode is, I guess. Oh my. Just gonna wait here. Nice. Oof. Thinking of using the throwable there, but I just decided to bait them up instead. I didn't grab the gun. Lots of deflex there to kill those guys. Actually, I'm on pretty good pace here. This might be the first sub 30 of hard mode. Pretty nice. If I don't mess up. I messed up.
You've been playing really well for this like entire run.
I know this has been going very well. No major mistakes. Just a lot of minor stuff. Only 54 deaths so far. It's okay. We got 4 minutes. 3 minutes. I don't know.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How dare you? There. This should be easy. You know, easy hard mode. Somehow. Oof, okay, all that's left is Headhunter. Just faster. More enemies spawn. That's about it. There's a couple changes in the last fight, but I'm gonna be getting through it so quick that we're not gonna be able to see him, so. So sad. Last phase, here we go. Same fast strats as the normal, just a bit delayed. Because there's gonna be Instead of two turrets, 4 turrets. I'm gonna have to take care of. Easy. Climb up here. Throw a knife. Easy. That's a sub 30.
That was just insanely good.
Thank
It's
you.
incredibly well done.
And time. 28:04 in-game time. That was pretty good.
That's just incredibly good. Like, there isn't much else to describe it with.
Except for pretty good. I like it.
I
Are
think
you
that's
gonna
like
do
8 minutes faster than the currently uploaded world record, though I know you PB'd earlier with a 31.
Yeah, I PV'd with like a 31-ish. Just cut off 3 minutes from that. Just great. Yeah, that was
Nice.
really clean. But now, it's time for the thing I was gonna do. The hard mode psychotherapist boss. I am not very good at this, and it's very difficult because it's very fast. That's about the only change though. Also, there's 4 hands instead of 2. That's it. But it's very hard, and I'm not good at this, so I'm scared.
Seems like a good way to celebrate a good run.
Yeah, with the poor boss fight. Yeah. Let's go. I haven't really ironed out any strats because with the seated, all of his attacks are in the same position every time, except for the like the lasers that he throws and the turkeys in the final phase. But these hands are pretty much the same. Oh god, it's gonna reset. I think it takes 20 hits on the hands for him to transition into the second phase. Just some quick deflex there. Oh man. It's probably the hardest phase in the boss fight. I don't know, maybe the turkeys make it much more difficult later. Just gonna take this slow. These guys fire much faster than normal. Here's the eyes phase. There are a couple changes. A lot more disorienting. It's not too difficult, as I keep my bearings.
Oh, that's trippy.
I know, you can barely even see the screen. Here's 5 frames mode. And the final one, just watch the blue. Oh, there we go. Final phase. A lot of this, the difficulty of this fight, I think, in my opinion, comes from just the attack where he sends out the turkeys. He sends either 4 or 5 out and they come out at random heights and random positions. So it's very difficult to predict what they're gonna do and how you're gonna kill them in preparation for his other attacks, which aren't as bad to dodge. Sometimes you'll see I'll just delay hitting the turkeys, just so I can dodge. Oh, that's unfortunate. Forgot about that. Yeah, it is the same amount of health, so just 3 hits and he's dead. Oh, didn't expect to get hit there. This may take a bit. Oh, shoot. If I had that, I think that would have been over. Oh man. Turkeys, dude. Oh, shoot, stood in the middle there. I think it's just a couple attacks after that third phase. Don't know how many exactly. Ah, turkeys, dude. Come on. This may be it. Just another volley of turkeys coming in. There, that's a fight. Only 6 minutes. That's
Nice.
pretty nice.
Really nicely done.
Nice.
Thank you.
You got really close to the end a couple times there.
Yeah, just those turkeys, man. Very difficult to deal with. 613, 12 deaths. Not too bad. But yeah, that's Psychotherapist. That's about all I wanted to show for the game.
All right, thanks for showing off hard mode for us. Do you guys have any shoutouts, like any links to community resources you want to throw out there?
Yeah, sure. How about the ASCIIsoft speedrunning community Discord? That's where we organize all the speedrunning things. We do races, in fact, every Sunday. So if you want to join in on that, that'd be amazing. We get more people. Always awesome. So yeah,
I can
that.
put that in chat right now.
Shoutouts to the X button. Happy Father's Day. That's about it for me.
And also the like we mentioned at the end of the normal race, there's a iKinalo's guide for normal if you're interested in running the game, and that covers everything you need to know.
Oh, also, me and Kanalo are also going to be making a hard mode guide pretty soon, I think. So if you want to try to get into hard mode, beat me. It's coming soon, I guess.
All right. Thanks again to everybody who participated today. Alex Trick, The Killer, 613, Saturday, and of course, Yes and Matt Insane for helping with commentary. That's going to be it for today. If you tune in tomorrow, we're going to have the sprint starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and of course, SGDQ starts this weekend. It's going to be starting on the 23rd, so make sure you tune in then at gamesdonequick.com. But with that, and a quick reminder that subscriptions this month are going to Doctors Without Borders, also known as Médecins Sans Frontières. We're going to go offline for now. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the sprint, and we're going to host somebody who's doing some SGDQ preparation. So why don't you go give them some love and support?